Hey everybody, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jeff Martin with Agent Marketing Toolset, and today I want to go over one of the hottest topics for real estate agents today. That's Facebook marketing. If you haven't done Facebook marketing before, or if it's been a while since your last marketing campaign, there's a lot of new features in there that Facebook has added that allow you to super target to whom your ads are shown. In fact, there's so many new features in there, it can be a bit overwhelming your first time in there. So how I want to start this video out is going through a lot of the common filters that realtors should be aware of, and then I'll go into more advanced stuff such as how to combine these various filters to create a very specific ad campaign, whether it's a simple ad such as an open house or a new listing or just sold, or if you want to get some sort of a lead generation, lead capturing ad going, such as what is my house worth or new home buying guide. I'm going to go into all of these different aspects and exactly what sort of filters I would use, such as maybe your house is $1 million home, you want to segregate the income levels so you just get the high income, or maybe you want to do different ages, or you want to target people who flip houses, who renovate houses. I'll go into all these various different things. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Facebook and get started on our first ad. Okay, when you log into Facebook advertising, you start setting up your campaign. One of the very first parameters you have is to geo-target where your audience is. As you can see on this one here, I selected Houston, Texas with a 15-mile radius. This would be good for a brand recognition, or if you're not trying to target a specific area code or smaller radius. You're trying to get a big, just everybody in the Houston area before you add any other filters. Now the next tab over here, you can see I put in specific zip codes. This is really good for if you're just trying to target people in a certain neighborhood. You can put in the various zip codes and only target those people in that neighborhood rather than doing a broad radius all around the city. You can target people in specific neighborhoods. The third option we have here is to put in an exact address. As you can see here, I put in 1300 West 19th Street. That's actually an address to a post office. I didn't want to put in somebody's address and piss them off later. But this would be good for, as you can see, I have a 1 mile radius over here, and you can change this to say 5 miles. This is really good for, let's say, for example, if you have an open house and you want to target all the people within 5 miles of that specific address of that open house. Using an exact address is really good for this campaign. Okay, moving along, the next demographic we have is gender. We have all men or women. I would suggest sticking with all until you run a few ad campaigns. After you run a few, you get to know whether the men are more likely to click your ads or the women are more likely to click your ads. And you do that by going to the analytics of Facebook. But if this is your first ad campaign or you haven't ran one in a while, I would leave it as all. That way you know whether men are clicking the ads or women are clicking the ads. It depends on the type of ad you're running. If you're running an ad where men are predominantly the ones that would click on it, then it might be a good idea to click the men. If it's more likely that women do it, you can click women. But you won't really know until you run a few ads and then looked at your analytics. Next one is language. You can change this one if you want. You can leave it blank. I really don't think it makes that big of a difference whether you select English or not English, as most people that are living in the neighborhood all speak English. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is go through some of the common detailed targeting that realtors are likely to use. The first one right here, likely to move. This is the biggest and most important one. If you're a realtor, you need to know this one. It's under behaviors, residential profiles, likely to move. What Facebook does is it gathers information from all of its other partners and compiles a list based upon consumer behaviors, whether they're going to be likely to move or not. And you can actually use this to target people that are going to be likely to purchase a new home. Now moving down to the next one down here, you can select income levels. So let's say you have $1 million home. You want to select the people that have the appropriate amount of income for that specific home. In this case here, I selected people from $100,000 up to over $500,000. Now, if your home is less than $1 million home, you would obviously pick the income level that is appropriate for you. As we scroll down, you can see you can target first-time home buyers. This would be great for if you have a first-time home buyer guide that you want to promote. You can target specifically people that are interested in first-time home buyers. And the next one is life events, newly engaged, newlywed. This is sort of similar. These people are having a big life event that they might be looking to purchase a new home, and you can target an ad specifically catered to mentioning whether they've been just gotten engaged and they're looking for a new house, or if they've just gotten married and looking for a new house, so on and so forth. Now, if we scroll down further, you can target builders if you want to. Additional interest, you can find people looking to buy a house. There's a lot of various things and additional interests. The range, the target range is not as big by range. I mean, this number over here, 86,000, 6,000, because those aren't under a big category. However, you can find like flip this house, flip that house, 323 people. So if you have a house that needs a little bit of touch up renovation, you can actually target an ad catered towards people specifically that flip houses. And then down here, of course, I have house hunting and new home. One of the big things that I want to point out that a lot of people don't know about is the option to exclude people. So in this example here, I just wanted to give you some brainstorming ideas. What I did was excluded people that are in school, so people that are in college, in grad school, in high school. Those are not the type of people that are looking to buy a house right now. They're in school. So I excluded all of those people. It just makes it a little bit more targeted. What you want to do is make it a little bit more targeted by adding more and more, as many filters as you can, to narrow the audience down to exactly what you're looking for. As you can see, I also excluded some demographics of people with financial income that couldn't afford this $1 million home. I'll scroll down a little bit further here. What I did here was I just wanted to give you an example of the various things of people you can exclude. I excluded separated, single, and widowed. Let's say, for example, you have a 3-4 bedroom house. A single person or a widowed person or just separated person would not be looking to buy that big of a house. They'd be looking for a smaller apartment or a smaller house. So there'd be a good example. You wouldn't always exclude these people. It's just if you have a big house, then that would be something that you would exclude. Okay, there's one more thing that I wanted to point out to you guys, and that is the must also match option on here. So on this example here, I have first time home buyer and then must also match likely to move. Essentially what that does, the difference between having likely to move here and likely to move up here is that if it was in the first box, it would target first time home buyers or likely to move. By putting one in one box, one in the other box, it's sort of like having an and sign. So rather than being first time home buyers or they're likely to move, they have to be first time home buyers and likely to move. And that's a very powerful way to target people even more accurately in Facebook by having that and sign. So for this example here, it'd be really good to target if you have a first time home buying guide. This would be a good demographic to put in, the first time home buyer and they're likely to move. It narrows it down, it targets it very specific for that ebook or that lead generation system that you have set up for a first time home buying guide. That's all I have for you today. I appreciate all of you who stuck it to the end of the video. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to hear from you about this video or suggestions for other videos. If you like this video, please visit my website. It's www.agentmarketingtoolset.com. I have more videos on other social media, email marketing, lead capturing, competitive analysis. I've got keyword research. You can learn about on-page, off-page SEO, some paid advertising, blogging tips, what to blog about, and all sorts of stuff. Everything is catered towards real estate agents. I hope everybody learned something new, and I hope to hear from you all in the future. Thanks again, everybody.